It's
sir.
a kind of a something we kind of touched on last week, I believe. With these two teams participating in the Super Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks and the Patriots, we know what their route was. We know what their roster makeup is. What does this tell you about how teams should be built to in order to compete at a to build a contending roster? Like what does that tell you? To me, I'll go first. For me, it says that you do not need a top five or even an elite QB in order to make the Super Bowl. Which I've already had this opinion, but the way that the media and the fans have become so QB focused and so, oh, you gotta have the Q, you gotta have a top, you gotta be Lamar, you gotta be Josh Allen, Mahomes. It's like, no, you don't have to be. Like we saw Brock Purdy make the Super Bowl. We saw Jalen Hurts win a Super Bowl last year. We see the current participants now in Sam Darnold, who was a top 15-ish guy. Drake May, who you could put in top 10 because he made the MVP, but he's not elite in my eyes just yet. I'm not giving him that label in just year two, and especially with the playoffs he had, where the numbers haven't been necessarily great. So I just think we just got to get away from this QB narrative driven whole thing. Oh, you got to have the elite QB in order to compete. Like, no, like these teams are well crafted rosters. Like the defense matters quite a bit. These are both top 10 defenses. I want y'all, if all the viewers listen, I want you to look up the last time a team that didn't finish at least top 15 in defense made the Super Bowl. You're gonna be like, oh, what, that president was in office? I'm telling you. So I'm gonna get your thoughts on that.
Um, so where I'm at with it, I'm thinking from a coaching perspective. If you're trying to build a team to contend, you can't be complacent. You have to always think about getting better. Stop being loyal to these relationships. Oh, this is my friend. Oh, this is somebody I knew all my life. We grew up together. You got to get out of that mindset. Is this guy going to put us in a position to ultimately compete for a Super Bowl? And see, that's my problem with some of these teams. I'm going to bring up my Packers as a great example because my Packers have fallen in this trap of, well, this guy, we really like this guy. The the head coach really likes this guy. They're friends. They've known each other for so long, and they give him chance after chance after chance. But then when you finally let them go, it's too late. So my thing is you have to be aggressive in the coaches that you decide to hire. You have to hire guys that are the best at what they do. And you can't just hire coaches that are your friends, that you get along the best. Like you gotta hire you gotta go out there and get the best coaches available. And I feel like a lot of teams they fall into the trap of let's just get people that we can get along with. Like, no, F that. We need to get the best coaches available. And I think teams like my Packers get so complacent thinking that, well, maybe it wasn't the coach, maybe it was the players. Well, the coach has been there for 3 years. How long until it's you can just blame the players? Like, no, it's the coach. If it's been 3 years and you still have a bad special teams, so I look at it from that perspective. I think coaching is so important when you're trying to build a championship level team. It's just as important as building the roster because development is important and situational football, these games come down to just one or two possessions. And that boils down to not just the players, but it boils down to coaching. So I think with the way that the NFL has gone this year, I think coaching is such an important part of football because the Rams versus Seahawks game, I think a part of the reason why the Rams lost is because they didn't have a good special teams coach. Special teams cost them. And not investing in a good special teams coach, not investing in the special teams in general costs you a chance of going to the Super Bowl. These things matter, in my opinion. Passing game coordinator, defensive passing game coordinator, defensive line coach, DB coach. These things matter. And I just think teams, they think that, oh, well, we can cover up this part. No, like you really have to invest in this stuff. It can't just be, oh, we got a talented roster. We have a good enough head coach that special teams doesn't really matter. Well, special teams has cost a lot of teams a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So coaching is very, very important. Building a great coaching staff is very, very important. And what these two teams have done has not been complacent. Mike McDonald, I think is not Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel's with the Chargers now. But Mike McDonald, what he did was he has gone through 2 offensive coordinators. He's on the 3rd offensive coordinator, and that's Clint Kubiak. He was not satisfied. Actually, I take that back because I think he got hired. What's his name? Who Jackson Smith and Jigba was not too fond of. I forgot his
Shane
name.
Waldron.
Shane Waldron. I don't think Shane Waldron was Shane Waldron. Was he on the Seahawks when Mike McDonald was the head coach the first year?
I believe so.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
He bought him from Washington.
Okay, so all right. So here's the thing. So Mike McDonald has gone through 3 offensive coordinators. He's on the 3rd one, which is Clint Kubiak. The first one, we all know, terrible, trash. Second one, I think his name was Ryan Grubb or something. He was the offensive coordinator the year that Michael Penix made the championship game, and that offense with Romo Dunze. So they bring him in. It didn't work. He got out of there after 1 year. He got fired. And then they brought in Clint Kubiak, 3rd offensive coordinator, and woo, look what's happened. The offense is amazing. One of the best play caller in the NFL is probably going to get a head coaching job with the Raiders after the Super Bowl. Yeah. When I look at the Patriots, and I'm gonna still talk, but when I look at the Patriots, they fired what's his name? What's that dude?
Antonio. Not Antonio.
Not Antonio.
Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo. After 1 year, it's unfortunate that a brother got fired, but it had to be done. They fired Gerard Mayo. They brought in a veteran, savvy head coach, one of the best coaches that was available in recent memory. He was available. They brought him in, and then guess what they did? They brought back a really good offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels. And guess what? They turned it around. Literally, from worst to first in 1 year. That's unheard of. And that's because the Patriots weren't complacent. That's because the Patriots understood that you can't just keep giving coaches chance after chance after chance. I'm talking about trash coaches, mediocre coaches, coaches that have not shown any growth. You can't just keep giving them chance after chance and expect a different result. That's called insanity. The Patriots said, you know what? Let's get a guy. Let's get a leader. Let's get somebody that's been there before, not Super Bowl, but has won before. Let's get him in and let's bring back our old guy that is still an amazing offensive coordinator. And look what they've done. Look what they've done. Drake May, MVP candidate, 2nd year, had an amazing jump. Amazing jump. He didn't even look nothing like this last year in his rookie season. In the 2nd year, he's been one of the 2 best QBs in the NFL in the regular season. It's unbelievable. And that's because when your team, when your organization is not satisfied and they're always looking to better themselves, this is the result. You get to the Super Bowl. Simple.
Yeah, listen, you're absolutely right. And both teams attacked free agency. You got some key pickups like the Seahawks got DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm pretty sure they got some other guys I'm blanking on right now. The Patriots, they got a bunch of dudes. They got Stephon Diggs. They went and got Milton Williams. Definitely a few other guys that again I'm blanking on because it's been a long season. But yeah, man, like you gotta invest in your roster. You gotta invest in your team. And we see how these owners invested in their team. Like people was questioning the Seahawks replacing Geno Smith with essentially with Sam Darnold. It was like, oh, this really going to move the needle?
Mm-hmm.
But as you see, what Geno looked like in Vegas over there, they definitely made the right decision because if I get way better, much solid QB play for around the same price point, I'm gonna take that change every day of the week. So I think it's just a really good example of how teams need to operate moving forward when it comes to trying to build a contending roster instead of just relying on a top 5 QB to bail you out of situations and lead you to the promised land when that's really historically only really worked for Pat Mahomes and Brady, and even still then they had elite defenses. So I just feel like we got to get out of this mindset of the QB is responsible for the deep playoff runs and everything. It was like, no, it's a lot more nuanced than that. And especially with the way QB contracts are looking moving forward, man, what you gonna have to find a QB that's middle of the pack, not making $200+ million or on a rookie deal in order to win Super Bowls if your name ain't Pat Mahomes moving forward. Because as it stands right now, it's looking a little tough.
Yeah, man. I'm just happy. Like, part of the reason why I like the fact that these two teams are in the Super Bowl is because it shows people, like you mentioned, that it's not about having the best quarterback in the NFL. It's not about this guy has to be elite. And it also reveals that QB wins. We mentioned this before, the conversation about QB wins. This whole thing about this quarterback is better than this quarterback because he's one, like it. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. But regardless, I love the fact that these two teams are in the Super Bowl and it's not a Joe Burrow, it's not a Josh Allen, it's not a Patrick Mahomes, because it reveals to people that no, you have to build. It's all about team, roster, coaching. It's all about that. It's not one person. If Lamar doesn't make the Super Bowl, which he hasn't, it's not necessarily because he screwed up. No, well, that guy, he dropped a pass. Oh, well, that guy fumbled the ball. Like it's a collective. And I think this Super Bowl is going to remind people that it's a team at the end of the day, and it's not one person. It's not Patrick Mahomes, he won it. No, the Chiefs, they won it. Tom Brady, no, the Patriots, they won it. Tom Brady had a lot to help, but no, the Patriots, they won it. And I like the fact that this isn't a Super Bowl where it's like you have household, like you have names that people can identify instantly. These are not household names. These are not guys that transcend sports. It's none of that.